We're going to move into the week of 11/20. This is Thanksgiving week, and we start off on Monday the 20th with the moon still in Aquarius until about 9:30 in the morning. Okay, there is a square going on with Mars. Try to get out and socialize a little bit, but just keep things light, please, okay? Tuesday the 21st, there's a lot of creativity. The moon's going to be in Pisces. We got a lot of water going on here. There's a lot of creativity involved when you have water involved. There's a square with Mercury, so you got to keep things a little light because Mercury is the planet of communication. But there's a trine with Mars. So this is a good time maybe to take some alone time, especially outside alone time if the weather's nice. And you may find that your creative energy is through the roof that day. Now, the 22nd, we have Mars in Scorpio forming a sextile with Pluto in Capricorn. That's a positive thing. There's an opportunity here on the 22nd. I also have a star on the 22nd. There's an opportunity for rooted commitment, which means we can really get clear. We can take our dreams and start bringing them into reality. We can get really grounded about what it is that we want to take action about. The sun is going to move into the sign of Sagittarius in the morning, and then the moon will move into the sign of Aries by lunchtime, okay? So take the opportunity. Now, happy Thanksgiving on Thursday the 23rd. You know, it's a fiery, fiery day. I mean, it's not my top pick to go sit with family and try to get along or try not to get too emotional. But you're going to have to make a conscious decision to do so. If you find that your dread is extremely high, which it may be, if you find that you just are very reluctant to go for the plans that you made, you may want to consider making new plans, okay? Now, there is a nice trine with Mercury, so hopefully conversation will go well, although it may be very fiery. But Venus is going to be opposite the moon, and Venus rules relationships, especially relationships with women. So, and then it's opposite the moon in Aries, so it's kind of like this man-woman thing across from each other. So we have to find balance. And if we know that the situation is already tough, you may want to make other arrangements, okay? But if not, go in with some deep breaths. Know that it's fiery, so try to stay cool, calm, and maybe step outside for some fresh air often, okay? Now, Friday the 24th, Mars is going to move into the sign of Sagittarius, so it's leaving Scorpio. This may be a little bit of relief to some of you, and it's going to go into the more playful sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is always thinking about the future because it's like that arrow being shot forward, right? So this is a time where you can start taking action about some of those things, some of those ideas. Maybe you start to plan a trip, or maybe you start thinking about renovation plans or something like that, and you start having ideas of the future. Now, the moon is going to move into Taurus in the afternoon. And there's going to be a trine with Mercury. It's going to be opposite Venus. The moon's going to be square Pluto. There's a lot here about freedom, Sagittarius season. So on Friday, do something to feel free, okay? Especially if you had a hard time on Thanksgiving. Do something that makes you feel free, especially if yesterday was hard. So maybe you just like go take a long walk and just go whichever way you want to, or maybe you go shopping and you just daydream, but you have the freedom to move. Maybe you don't keep as tough of a schedule on you on Friday as much as you can, or at least in the evening, okay? So then we move into the weekend, and the weekend, the moon's going to be in Taurus most of the weekend until about 7:40 p.m. on Sunday. So this is Taurus rules all the beautiful things, right? It rules jewelry, and it rules clothing, and all those beautiful things that us women love so much, and probably some men too. Mercury, the planet of communication, you know how we're always talking about Mercury retrogrades and saying like don't make big purchases during Mercury retrograde? Well, Mercury retrograde shadow begins the weekend of the 25th and 26th. And I personally shop right up to Mercury retrograde, which is going to begin on December 13th, and it's going to run right through the holidays until January 1st. So this is a really good time to go shopping and get some of the major purchases done before retrograde starts on the 13th. So Taurus is a great time to do that. May feel good, and there's lots of sales over the holiday weekend, okay? So just keep in mind that Mercury retrograde beginning 12/13, not super convenient for the holidays. And keep in mind too, we are heading to a full moon. So those Thanksgiving plans, when they're fiery and heated, we are heading towards that big ball of fire, heading towards the big, thinking of the sun. Keep in mind that we're heading to a full Gemini moon, okay? So the full moon will take place on Monday, the 27th.